I am Rachel Prairie. I work for Self-Esteem Brands, Anytime Fitness. It is the largest fitness franchise on the planet, and I am manager of exercise programming, which means that I help write and design workouts for our system globally. And I also represent the collective trainer and coach, and making sure that everyone, all trainers and coaches in our system, have the tools that they need, the resources, the education, the support in order to be able to help their clients get to where they want to be and also have a career with us. So today we are going to talk about, let me get my presentation pulled up here. We are going to talk about, because I am a functional aging specialist, oh boy, hang on, it's taking a minute. Okay. We are going to talk about, oh yay, there's my face. We are going to talk about how to use Functional Aging Institute's principles and thread them into programs for your clients. And something that's really important, especially for this functional aging population, is that while we want to create and program a really stellar workout, and not just one workout, but lots of workouts within a larger plan in order to help them get to where they want to be, but we also have to think heavily about the experience. And a lot of times there's this fine line that trainers and coaches have to walk between what we know they need and is science-based and so good, but also keeps them coming back for more. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to find that balance using functional aging's outline for us, which is amazing. Personally, I am a programming nerd. I love it. And so when someone can give me the framework and I just have to go in and fill out exercises and then thread in what I believe and we believe in as a brand at Anytime Fitness, it makes it really quick and easy to program for a lot of clients at once and scale it. So that is what we are going to talk about today. The first thing that we are going to go through, sorry, give me one sec, all this technology. So here are our goals for today. We are going to review the Functional Aging Institute's principles. We're going to think about who our consumer is. So today we're only going to cover one section of programming for a specific subset of clients within this larger group. We are going to work on how to program, how to lay out a great session. Personally, today, there's lots of different programs and services that we can offer, right? Anytime Fitness, for example, offers one-on-one, small group, we need 2 to 4 people, team, which is a larger session, and then we also have the same offerings virtually too, because there's this incredible new virtual world that we are engaging in. And then we are going to practice and put it all together. I know because you're there and I'm here, that will be more of a homework assignment that I'm going to help you, give you the template that will help you figure out how to put this all together for your people. All right, so here are these, here's what I would like you to do. And you can take a minute now while I'm chit-chatting. But it's really important that you know, as either a private trainer or coach that has a bunch of clients, your own business, or if you work for a larger fitness brand, it's really important that you define what you believe. So what you believe about how you want to treat people, how you want to approach wellness, how you want to approach movement, and really stand firm in those programs, in those principles, because that is going to be the framework for everything you do, and it will help you deliver a really tailored, significant, impactful message to your consumer about who you are and what you believe, and why they should want to partner with you in getting healthy and fit. Okay, so at Anytime Fitness, here are our pillars. These are things that we believe that every single workout should include at the forefront across our brand globally. I'm a little today. Okay. So we want to make sure that our clients and members move with intention. And I think a lot of times what that means is that we don't just want them to be, let's take a squat, for example. We don't want them just like bopping around squatting. We want to set them up for success, start them grounded in the ready position. What should they feel? What should they think about? Especially now that we have this whole virtual layer too. It's about making sure that they can connect cognitively what is going on with all this. So we want them to move with intention. We want every single rep to mean something. We want them to move through full range of motion and have really great mobility, right? That's what mobility is. Now remember, probably just about everyone, no matter who they are going to be coming in with some kind of, they're not going to be moving ideally. And remember too, we're not trying to elicit a perfect squat or a perfect push-up, but we want it perfect for that person. What that means for that person that walks in the door. So while they might come to us and their range of motion is we can work with that because we know our programs, if these are our pillars, if they are designed to increase and improve range of motion, that if performed over time, people will move better and feel better, and that is what we want for them. We want them to move with minimal pain or without pain. And I always think about this, that because usually, honestly, our most fully fit people, an active aging client or not, are in some kind of pain. I did a talk earlier this year to a group of coaches, and I just asked the question, right, we're all fitness professionals, all on like younger side, right? Like we should be able to get through the day without pain. And I had them raise their hand and said, tell me right now, if now sitting here right now within the last couple weeks, you have been in physical pain. And the entire room of maybe 100 people raised their hand. And so there's something there that we have to work on and uncover. We don't ever want to program at any time. We don't ever want to program a workout that someone needs to take the day off from to recover. Or, do you know what I mean? Like, we don't want to beat them up so bad that they can't, one, just get through their day, right? Because if they're coming in with pain, now we're adding pain. Or two, that they can't come back and train with us. So that's really, really important, is moving without pain, or at least minimal pain. And then moving for life. And this one is so important, especially to this population. My parents are in their 70s, and they are fully fit. They are so active. We go hiking. They live in Utah. We go hiking all the time, and they hike me under the table, right? And they are active and they engage in the gym because they are focused on longevity. They want to be able to hike and golf and bend over and pick something up safely. That is important to them. And honestly, it should be, sorry, I flip the phone over here. It should be important to everyone. Longevity should be on everybody's radar right now, no matter what their age. So those are our 4 pillars. So I know when I go to write and workout, program workouts, that brings all of that into light and into focus. So everything that I produce fulfills these four pillars. All right. So just a quick touch on our periodization. We use undulating, which means we take blocks of about 12 weeks, and while things ebb and flow, and there is some design, some weeks are heavier push, some weeks are heavier lower body, so it ebbs and flows. There is an overall outline. We want to make sure that, because life gets in the way, right? Man, this is an interesting period in time. we're in a new environment, a new territory, and undulating periodization actually is so ideal because what it does is allows for flexibility. So if you miss a day or a week or a month, you can still hop right back in. It offers more variety because we're going to talk a little bit about why I think I have a coach, I have a strength training coach for a very specific kind of program, and I am working towards an end goal of competing, and so it's a very focused plan. But some days, you guys, I am so bored. Like all we do is squat, press, bench press, deadlift, and accessory, and it's just some kind of combo and maybe some kind of sets and reps that changes, but I need more variety to stay engaged. I don't need to go crazy. I don't need to add a single leg upside down Bosu while I'm throwing something in the air and like patting my head and rubbing my belly, right? I need to get that crazy, but I need enough to stay engaged, and our clients and our members do too. For this population, actually, for the general population, this is a really efficient way to train, right? Because if you do it right, members and clients can maintain their muscle mass or even increase it, which is like gold, especially for this population. Oh my gosh, we want them to maintain or build muscle mass as long as possible for metabolic health for a lot of different reasons. Shed some body fat, right? And move and feel good. Again, if we go back to those pillars, we want them to move really well in and outside of the gym, be high performers no matter where they are. And then in general, it meets most of our clients' goals. Again, especially for active aging, if longevity, feeling good, having energy, sleeping well, being without pain is the goal, there's not a whole lot of reason to do leg day on Monday, back day on Tuesday, chest day on Wednesday. Sorry, I know I messed that up for the bros. I know chest day is always Monday, right? So our periodization has an overall master plan, but it does ebb and flow throughout the week. Okay, whoa. So, if you haven't seen this before, so I did a 2-day workshop when I got certified with the Functional Aging Institute right outside of Boston with Diane, actually. She's fabulous. She's teaching a session this week. And we're going through, and when this popped up on the screen, I got so excited because the programming nerd in me, like, this is the thing. These are the things that I need in order to create a great program for this population. And in fact, it is more than what I need. Like, it gives me so much variety. So we are gonna, this is a lot, like I know it's a lot, but it's also very exciting. And we're gonna go through how to kind of pull different pieces out, to put this together into different workouts. And then again, not just workouts, but into a larger plan. So if we take the web away, which is really beautiful and magical, these are the things that we look at. So I know now I have 6 buckets to choose from. So when I go to write a workout, I'm going to pull something from each bucket. So it's always going to have some kind of cognitive piece in there. We're going to talk about where that might lie, right? Either as a primer or maybe as a team builder, a game at the end. There'll always be some kind of element that encourages balance and multisensory and a lot of posture, a lot of postural work for this group. Think face pulls and things that help us stay upright as long as possible. Obviously, we're going to get stronger. We're going to work on not just strength, but power is really important. So I think sometimes coaches and trainers estimate they just try to get people really strong. But if I'm sitting in a chair and I go to get out of the chair, it's not just strength, the strength of my legs that gets me out. It's power. I have to be able to use my body to move up out of the chair. We are going to always have some mobility too, even if it's just things like, we'll get into our movement patterns that are important, like a farmer's carry is great, works our core, it helps with gait. Cardio, of course, being mindful too that we don't need to, we don't have to stay max heart rate. In fact, we probably shouldn't for this population, but we do need to touch on it even just for a few seconds, and then bring it back down throughout our workout, because it's really important to our people's heart health. And then, of course, looking at our neuro bucket, which we'll look at things like coordination, proprioception, reaction time, and again, a lot of those for us, they lie in that team builder game format, okay? Because we want to encourage people to work on these things, but not frustrate them, right? So, because we always want them to have a positive mindset and challenge them, but not exhausted to the point where they feel like they failed or they can't do it. All right, so if we break those down, and just so like, you know, trainers, our fitness world has a million abbreviations for everything, but when I go to program, I'll show you, we'll condense this down and we'll look at adding each of these, because remember, what's so great about that big spider web is that I don't just have mobility. Within mobility, I can choose something that works on gait, that works on sit-to-stand motion, where they have to do a cone weave, negotiate an obstacle. So I have so much to choose from within that mobility bucket. Okay, here are our movements, and again, this is what we stand for at Anytime Fitness. So within every workout, there will always be these 6 movement patterns: a push and a pull, both vertically and horizontally, a hinge, a squat. This number 5 is super important, this lunge motion, this unilateral staggered stance, right? Because now it's just so multifaceted, because it's strength, it's balance, and then our core and our core principles, which for a lot is carries for this population. And then we also don't have any spinal flexion in our core training. There's just so many other ways to safely help someone strengthen their core without cranking on their spine. So those are our 6 movement patterns. So now we're starting to build. Now we're starting to build on programs, principles, and philosophies to put them into one amazing workout. Okay, so let me actually, we'll go through this quick, and then I'll show you after. So within every session, and right now I'm referring to small group training for active aging population, which for us is 2 to 4, 2 to 6 people. We found that groups much larger than that, it's hard to keep our eyes on them, keep them safe and moving really, really well. Again, if we go back to those our 4 pillars, that is our brand promise. We are telling them that we are going to help them move with intention, without pain, and be a high performer in and out of the gym. So these are the steps that we add. Being social is a very important part of this for us. We want our people to feel like they're part of a community and have a social aspect, right? So these pieces, we're going to break them down, will be found in every single small group training session. Roll call, some movement prep, followed by a warm-up, the actual session, a team builder, and a cool down. All right, so our roll call is a quick check-in, and we want to make sure that everyone in our session is ready and what their energy like, and is there any concerns? Are they, I put this in there because I think about, I had a client who had, she was an older client, and she had had several strokes throughout her life. And she we would always check in, and sometimes she was slow and hard to, like, it was a very slow, very patient, quiet, calm session. But I would always check in with her, and I'm so glad that I did, because one day she was behaving so strangely, and it turns out that she had had a stroke right before she came to the gym, and she would have not been ready to train. It would have not been safe if, so we got her the attention that she needed. But make sure that your people are ready, and then even though you plan a great workout, right, see where their energy is at, because depending on the state that they come into you, they might not be ready that day to do what you had planned, or take what you have planned, but tailor it to how they're feeling that day. It's so important. If they didn't sleep well, if they hadn't eaten all day, it's going to be hard for them to be a high performer. A better choice might be taking what you have, maybe scrapping it, cutting it down to just a couple sets. Maybe the better choice would be like a recovery session, doing some foam rolling, walking, and just talking. So make sure that you really check in and get your eyes on your people, see how they're moving, see how they feel, and it's so important to make that connection every single time. Because no matter who they are, every person comes into a workout in a different state than they did the day before. So if we want to elicit a really great response, we need to check in, see how they feel. Okay, and then we'll go into our movement prep and warm up. So these are, and you know, they don't take very long, right? It's just we want to make sure that we roll, especially ankles, calves, things like a deadlift where we're working on, you know, if you have a deadlift, start with it unloaded and work on that hinging, pushing hips back. After prep, we're into maybe 5 minutes, the dynamic warm up. So this is really, it's not just meant to get your body temperature rise and your blood flowing. We're trying to open up joints and prime the body for athletic movements that we have planned for them. So things like cross body stretch, lateral lunge, holding a plank, things that are going to prep them for what we have planned. And then our session. Okay, so, all right, hang on, technology. Let me, I need to flip over to another screen. Okay, I can do this, guys. New share? Yes. All right, sorry, I'm talking to myself like a crazy person. Okay, let me share that. Yay, I did it. Okay. So I just took, we'll look at the whole piece here, but I just took at what a session might look like to the coach, like if you're looking at your workout. And I know too, a lot of you, especially if you are independent or work for other brands, this probably lives within an app or some other piece of technology. I still, I like paper, so I will have had this and probably printed it out so I can take notes, or let's say I'm standing there and someone doesn't feel so great, I'm going to scrap that and put something else in, right? And also do paper, but I like it. So I have my order, right? This particular workout is a circuit. Going back, remember those abbreviations for our main domains, okay? So if we look at this little key here, right? So we have our mobility, emotional, all the pieces that we want in our workout, and shorthand. So you can come through. You can say hi if you want. Functional Aging Institute.
What up, Functional Aging Institute?
Here's Chuck. He's our CEO, if you don't know. So we have all of our different domains. And then remember back to those 6 movement patterns. So those also have to be in each of our workouts. The actual exercise, the sets, the reps, or the timing. And then for me, especially if I'm standing in front of a group of 2 to 6 people, I want to make sure that I have a plan for every level. So a progression and a regression from that original move. Now, again, if you're a little bit smaller, or if you, a lot of times with our brand, we end up sharing clients. So maybe you don't have to be so specific as that. You know you're a trainer, you know how to progress and regress and exercise, but it's good to have it planned out, and also have an inventory, a library where you can pull things from and build these out. And then we'll go into where am I at? And then we'll go into the team builder and stretching. So this is just a circuit workout. We're going to go through 2 rounds. By the time we have that movement prep, dynamic warm up, and get to the workout itself, all of these workouts and the team builder and the stretching are about 45 minutes. Okay, now let me see if I can flip back to the other screen here. All right. Okay, so our team builder, we end with these. Remember, again, we talked about having that balance between what we know our clients need, that is super stellar programming, it's science-based, and having some fun. So this is actually one of our clubs. I reposted it, but it's in Gig Harbor, and this is an example. So after we do our exercises and we want to promote our community, right, and have people be social, this is an example of what a team builder might look like. Okay, and again, we still have these elements where they're still working through the movement patterns, but also mobility, balance, fun. This is my favorite part. You're gonna watch these all day. This is my favorite part. Right? Now, too, we know in this new environment that we might not be able to share equipment like this, especially with this population quite yet. Oop, I think it's on repeat. But we do know that, oh, hi, there's the rest of my Instagram. Let me share, let me go back. We do know that even virtually, having these team builders are really important, and it can be things like I go, you go. So you have a screen with a bunch of people, and half of them do 3 squats, and then the other half does 3 squats, and they do 2, the other group is 2 and 1 and 1. Or challenges, a plank hold challenge. So you can get really creative with these team builders. It's about fun, it's about community, and still keeping them moving and engaged. And now we are moving on to our cool down. So after we did our warm up, our workout, our team builder, we also have to cool down. And for this group, this could mean a couple different things, right? We have to be mindful too, like, can they get down to the floor and back up okay, things like that. Where should they roll? Where should they stretch? So it's an opportunity for you to go through and do some rolling or maybe static stretching. And it may also be a time for you to assign some homework too. Maybe they need to, they're not coming in tomorrow, but they're going to take a walk outside. That's great. Let's make sure we stretch and roll our feet and calves and hips and glutes before we head out on our walk. All right, so what I'm gonna do, and we don't need to, I won't sit and have you just stare at me while I do this, but what I'm gonna do is provide you with this template, but have it blank. So you have a chance to practice and fill this out yourself. And again, remember, this is using our Anytime Fitness's programs, principles, philosophies. So you'll use yours. If you're a functional aging specialist, you have these available to you, and you'll put them together to create a program for your people in your own way, which is so important because we always want to make sure that we are following through with what we promise. All right. So, but this is what it looks like if I were to fill it all out. So traditionally, I would have my Anytime Fitness logo here. I would do my roll call. I'd have my pre-mobility work ready, my warm-up. I'd put out what equipment do I need, what's my format. We have different heart rate systems within our brand, so when I'm explaining the workout to people too, I tell them like, how should they feel? Even if they aren't wearing a heart rate monitor, how should it feel? Should they be huffing and puffing? Should their heart rate be relatively low? And then I like to feature a movement of the week because it gives me an opportunity to break it down and really coach it heavily at the beginning of every session across the week. This particular workout also included a video that Anytime Fitness has an app. And so I would, for this one, send this link to this video that they could watch after their session with me. So we could still connect and engage outside of the gym. And then we have our main workout, which we went over, our team building. My stretching and mobility work is always specific to the workout that was done. And then just that key to make sure that when I fill out all my domains, that I have one from every bucket. So I will get you a blank version of this, and you can practice and play with it and make it your own. Okay? All right. I'm pretty proud of myself for being able to switch back and forth between screens, people. Okay. All right. We did it. We got to the end. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Programming is such an important piece, and it's so sacred to what we do. And if you pair it with a really great experience, you will keep your clients happy and healthy and moving. So please let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out, send me an email, and thanks again for tuning in.